Welcome to the Voices of Valor podcast, where we celebrate pioneering women reshaping business and leadership. I'm Nada Khaddash Subah, the director of the Center for Women in Business at the Sulaiman Alayan School of Business at the American University of Beirut. In each episode, we bring you inspiring stories of women driving change, uplifting community, and leaving a lasting impact. Today, we're thrilled to welcome our guest, Ghaidaa Itani Nawam. Ghaidaa is a certified corporate director from the IFC and holds a master's degree in business administration from our very own Sulaiman Alayan School of Business.
Proudly.
She brings a wealth of experience from multinational MFCG companies, including her tenure at Cadbury Adams as category manager for sugar across 11 countries in the Lebanon and GCC. In 2006, Ghaidaa founded Sirajart, a business specializing in high-end gifts and premiums, with operations spanning the GCC and the MENA region and Hong Kong. More recently, in 2020, she co-founded Nusaned, a national NGO dedicated to empowering vulnerable communities in Lebanon to achieve self-sustainability. Her journey is a testament to her unwavering commitment to creating social impact, which she now describes as her greatest source of fulfillment. So Ghaidaa, let's start please by a short brief about your journey throughout until you reached to co-founding Nusaned.
After I graduated from AUB with a master's in business administration, I joined a lot of FMCG companies, fast-moving consumer goods, and I had an extensive experience in this field. In 2006, and after some personal issues, I had young kids, and my father was sick at the hospital. I decided to stop working with multinational companies and to have more time for my family. I established a company called Sirajart, but because of my competitive nature, I had to spend more time with this company as well. So the offices were in Beirut and in Hong Kong. I was traveling a lot because the clients were in the GCC and MENA region, and the suppliers were in China. Then in 2020, and by mistake, we started as volunteers with the team of Sirajart and some friends who were also from AUB. We started volunteering to help people in the north of Lebanon after the revolution. So after the uprising in 2019, and in May 2020, we found ourselves establishing the Nusaned NGO.
That's nice. Actually, due to the impact that Nusaned is doing, we can tell that it was the best decision, maybe, just like you have taken. Let's start with something you've mentioned. Contributing to society brings you the most satisfaction at this stage of your life and career. How has this passion influenced your leadership style and decision-making at Nusaned?
Actually, during my work experience before establishing Nusaned, with the team, even at Sirajart, we always had this passion of helping. So we always said we wish that even one day per month we are able to go on the ground and volunteer. At that time, we had a lot of work, we couldn't do it. By the end of 2019, and because we had the revolution, we had all the problems in the country, we had more time for doing this. So we decided with the managers of Sirajart to keep all the employees with us for 1 year and keep on paying their salaries. With one condition, that whenever we had work, we would be doing our work at the office, and whenever we didn't have any work, we would go on the ground and volunteer. And this is how it all started in a very organic way. We went to the north of Lebanon, to Tripoli, and then to Akkar, and started supporting on the ground, and we had no idea that this was going to be, after a couple of months, an officially registered NGO.
So it was really out of passion with only the aim of making pure social impact.
Exactly. At that time in my life, my kids were grown up, and they left already the house. They are abroad studying, and I wanted to take like a 6-month period to go anywhere and to help. I didn't know that by the end of 2019 I would be helping in my own country, which was very satisfying actually. And I thought that, let's say, moving with my kids to Canada where they are, I would be just influencing the people around me, whereas what we did in Lebanon, it had a great impact all over the nation.
Ghaidaa, as a graduate of OSB AUB, how do you feel your education shaped your professional journey and prepared you for the diverse role you've taken on so far?
At AUB, I gained a lot of self-confidence. I learned that being empathetic is not a weakness, actually, it's a strength. And I had the feeling that I can make a change. And when we decided to, when I decided to co-found Nusaned in May 2020, the first set of people I thought about were my colleagues at AUB. So we are 7 board members, and the 7 of us are all AUB graduates. We think the same. We think of one Lebanon. We are non-political, non-religious. We like to help all Lebanese people all around Lebanon, nationally.
You've become an inspiring role model for women and young professionals through your impactful community work. Was there someone in your life, personally, academically, professionally, who served as your role model? And how did that person influence your perspective on your life as well as on your career?
Yeah, actually, yes. In my personal life, there's my mom, who has been working a lot in community work since we were kids. And she used to take us, me and my sister and brother, with her since we were 7 years old. And we were seeing the impact that she was making. And it had a lot of impact on me. And more recently, when we started in 2019, I met a lot of inspiring people. I always like to mention them because they are so selfless and they supported us immensely. Jad Bitar, he's a managing partner of BCG. So he was giving us all the time that we need. He taught us, he gave us like a guidance on what our mission should be and how we should focus on sustainability and how we should not be like any other charity. And how important it is for us to have the right corporate governance, to work transparently. So for me, he was an inspiration.
That's nice. Looking back on your career, what are the challenges that you face before founding Sirajart and Nusaned? Was there pivotal moments or obstacles that motivated you to shift from the corporate world to the social entrepreneurship?
So as a working mom, as you know, Nada, we always have this guilt feeling that we're not spending enough time with our family, whether our kids or our parents at a certain age. So when I was an employee, sometimes I had to go to work at 8 a.m. and return at 12 p.m. and repeated the second day. And for a couple of days, I couldn't see my kids. At one point of time, my dad was in a coma at the hospital for 6 months, and I was in South Africa doing a training. So I remember I called my husband and I told him, what am I trying to prove? That I can do it? Yes, I can do it, but at this point in my life, I don't want to do it anymore. I want to reset my priorities. So it has always, the challenge for me has always been on how to
have this work-life balance.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's not easy at all, because when you're young, you have young children. When you're getting a little bit old, you need to take care of your parents as well.
Yeah, it's not easy. We all face this, yet we are more, in a way or another, we feel this guilt feeling, just like is always with us, because we're traditionally just like raised that we always have to take care of everyone around.
Exactly.
And we feel that we have to do it all ourselves. And this is the most important thing. I think we're moving your path, actually. I do face the same things, and I always say, what should I prioritize? how can I be the successful woman everywhere at every time, which we sometimes just like have more guilt feeling towards,
Exactly.
which it shouldn't be.
I think the men in our life are very important. Their support is key. And for example, my husband and my kids, I always ask them, am I giving you enough time? مقصرة أنا بمحل. So they always say, no, you're the perfect mom, you're doing, we're proud of you because you're doing this, so don't worry about us. But at the end of the day, for me, I was thinking yesterday that for the past 4 years, since 2019, it's like I have been away from my family and completely submerged in Nusaned, like working 16 hours per day. And in this country, you always have crisis. So you stop, whenever you get out of one crisis, you find yourself in another crisis.
Yeah. Yeah, Ghaidaa, I agree to a certain extent, yet I believe that your success is being the best role model for your whole family members. You are a role model for women, for us, for the Lebanese.
Thank you so much.
So I think your family is also proud. And I believe that the quality time that they are seeing you investing in their lives as well, and the impact in the nation, is what's making a difference to them. Can you walk us, please, through your journey of founding Siraj Art? And later, you mentioned about Nusaned, but we would like to know a little bit about Siraj Art as well. And how did both ventures differ in their mission and challenge, and what are the key lessons from each to continue to guide you through your work today?
Yes, so in 2006, like I was saying, I decided to resign from my position as category manager in Cadbury Adams because of the time that was needed from me and the decision that I took to spend more time with my family. After 4 months, I created Siraj Art, which is a company that designs and produces and distributes high-end gifts and premiums. I traveled to China alone, completely alone, and I had one colleague who was with me at school. He was living there and married to a Chinese lady. He met me there, and we brainstormed, and we decided to work together. Until now, we're still working together. The company is still functioning, but managed by an employee who was working with me for a lot of time. The challenge was to make it happen. So when I decided to create this company, the idea was to be able to spend more time with my family, like I told you. But when you start working and getting involved in the business, the competitiveness inside you, I can do it, we can pitch for this deal, we need to get it. And thank God, after a couple of years, the company became a medium-sized company with around $2.5 million in sales, with just 5 people working on it. The challenges were the travel to China and to the GCC to see the clients, and again leaving my kids and my family. Despite all the challenges, having an inspirational team and very positive and motivational team made it all worth it, actually. With this same team, we started volunteering for Nusaned at the end of 2019. So we were 5. We were working a lot, and we always said we wished that we were able to have at least 1 or 2 days per month where we can volunteer and help the people. And after the October uprising, we had this opportunity, and we said, let's do it. So the first thing we did, we went to Tripoli, where there's a lot of vulnerable people, and we went to Hayat Tanak there, and we started supporting. Then we brainstormed, we talked with a lot of people, and the second thing we did is that we went to Akkar. We talked with one person we knew there who was having a lot of his workers coming from Akkar. We had a meeting, a 4-hour meeting. It was a Sunday, the 8th of December, I remember, with 14 heads of municipalities in Akkar. We told them we are a group of business people, we want to support you. how can I support you? This is how the idea of the 3 programs that we were working on at Nusaned were created, supporting in shelter, rehabilitation, and food security, and in creating jobs and livelihoods in those areas.
That's inspiring, actually. So Nusaned lately has collaborated with organizations like UNEP, UN Women, UNESCO to support Lebanon's sustainable development. Could you share the impact of these projects in specific on marginalized Lebanese community, mainly women? You mentioned you started in Tripoli or Akkar because they're the most vulnerable communities. True. Okay, can you please tell us what's the impact mainly on marginalized communities?
Yeah.
But let's
so Nada, we started in Tripoli and in Akkar in 2019 and in 2020. Then after the August 4th blast, we found ourselves moving all our expertise and team to Mar Mikhail, to Beirut, where we rehabilitated more than 2,200 units, residential and commercial units. In Akkar, mainly we supported in terms of food security. We started with food parcels, and then because the vision and mission of Nusaned is related to sustainability, we started shifting away from food parcels and food security, moving to food vouchers to create the circular economy in the areas. So instead of buying the food parcels from big wholesalers in Beirut, let's say, and moving them to Akkar, we made agreements with the MSMEs, small and medium-sized organizations, to create demand for them, and the beneficiaries in those areas would go and buy from these MSMEs. So we're creating the circular economy and not affecting the small and medium-sized enterprises there. The same thing happened with the shelter in Akkar as well. We rehabilitated more than 500 shelters in Akkar in 2020. So the contractors were from Akkar, the carpenters from Akkar, the electricians from Akkar, and as much as possible in the same villages that we were supporting. This also created circular economy, and all the people in those villages, they were kind of embracing us and collaborating with us very efficiently. This was in the north. As I said, after the August 4th, we moved back to Beirut. But at that time, we were established like 3 months before the explosion. But we received a lot of funding because people saw what we did in the north, and we were very transparent. So we had our own application, where we showed the pictures before and after of all the units that we have rehabilitated. We were giving a statement of account to all the people who supported us, because when we started, we couldn't get funding from UN agencies or international NGOs. We weren't registered yet. The ones who supported us are family, friends, expats who heard of the impact that we were doing and who got very excited. In February 2020, we received more than $500,000 in donations from 100 people. So every one of them gave us $5,000 to rehabilitate one house. At that time, we said, wait, no, we need to register the organization first to be able to do proper auditing at the end of the year. And second, because we're non-political, non-religious, so we didn't want to have any problem with any political party in the area. And then after we got registered and we started receiving funds from international NGOs, what we did with all the chaos that was happening, we had like 30 small contractors supporting us with the rehabilitation of those 2,200 units. In parallel, we had our head of operations who was working on policies and procedures at the same time. Yeah. So for 2 years, we kept on developing our policies, our SOPs, our procedures, so that after those 2 years, we were able to get direct funding from international NGOs and from UN agencies like UN OCHA, UN Women, UNEP, the ones you mentioned as well. After the August blast, and as I was telling you, in this country, you always have unexpected crises. So COVID,
devaluation of the currency.
Devaluation, the different the problems and the economical situation in Lebanon, and then in 2023 the South the South attacks. So we had a lot of internally displaced people in Sur, in Tir, and in Nabatieh, and we started supporting them in hot meals just a couple of days after the problems in Gaza and in Lebanon. And until recently, in September 2024, where suddenly we had to support daily 30,000 people with 30,000 hot meals per day. Imagine يعني the reprogramming that we had to do, and yes, the importance of flexibility and reprogramming.
How do you think you just like supported or helped mainly women throughout your journey in Nusaned?
We're considered a women-led organization because in our board we have 5 women and 2 men, and even in our team we're mostly women. When we do the assessments to choose the beneficiaries that we need to support, we always have very high scores on people with special needs, on women-led households, divorced or widowed women. And we always, so they receive the highest scores, so they have a higher chance of being selected and getting help. This is in humanitarian projects that we have. In development projects, we always choose women. We had one of the projects with the UN Women, a very interesting project, and we were implementing it with ACTED. We produced hygienic pads for women. So it was a product made by women for women. It involved 50% Lebanese and 50% Syrians, but it was only made by women. We trained them, we gave them psychosocial support, and we trained them technically also on how to produce those pads and how to sell them and how to explain and to create awareness on the importance of hygiene during period.
That's nice. Okay, so they just like manufacture and then they sell. So
exactly.
It's a sustainable process that you ensure they're having income.
Yeah.
Given Nusaned's strong role in Lebanon's humanitarian response, what's your vision for its future activities, both in addressing the current crisis that we are living nowadays and contributing to long-term recovery and development in Lebanon, and if you're planning to go to the region?
So as a local NGO, we always aspire on implementing development projects rather than humanitarian projects. But unfortunately, for the past 4 years, with all the crises we had in this country, the priority of all the funding mainly goes to humanitarian. But by humanitarian, it includes like supporting in terms of food security, whether hot meals, food parcels, food vouchers. Shelter, a little bit of shelter, but mostly cash for shelter or rehabilitation of units where we have people with special needs, where we adapt them for them and we rehabilitate them. We distribute a lot of hygiene kits, winterization kits. So all this falls under humanitarian. We wish that we can stop it at one time and move only to development projects, but unfortunately this is the
it's driven by what's happening
exactly,
around
by
us.
the necessity. We started a lot of development projects. One of them was with UNEP, where we created a recycling unit for the plastics and for the organic waste. In Mar Mkhail, we were collecting all the organic waste from 20 restaurants. We supported during the blast with rehabilitation, and they were involved with us with this project. We created another project, like I told you, Nesma, which is the hygienic pads. Yeah. We have a third project in Akkar now with the René Mawad Foundation and with USAID, whereby we're supporting farmers to create peanut, and then we're buying those peanuts from them to sort it and to make peanut butter out of it. We had also a food truck that was created after October 23. The idea is to have it a mobile truck to be able to support different internally displaced as well. So we're always thinking of sustainability of Nusaned, and not just sustainability of our beneficiaries.
Yeah.
Because at one point in time, we need to be self-sustaining and start supporting ourselves on our own.
Definitely. So your vision is to just like shift from the humanitarian to the
development.
development sector.
Exactly.
This is in case the country or the situation supports you in a way or another, because you're only being reactive
Exactly.
in what's happening. Actually, we all wish that one day we'll be proactive for things that would really make a change in the lives of people, not only on the currently like daily needs of people that we have to. Actually, as a female leader now, dedicated to serving marginalized or underprivileged communities in Lebanon, do you feel that you have this strong support network backing you? How has this influenced your ability to drive the change, if it was there?
Nada, when we first started, as I told you, I used my network, my private sector network, coming from private sector background, and being involved in the three most influential or powerful networks in Lebanon. This helped me a lot, and this helped me in financial support, because these people from the private sector were the first ones who supported us financially before getting registered and starting receiving grants from international NGOs and UN agencies. And having this mindset of a private sector, Kamena, it made all the difference, because we came like parachuted to the NGO world. We were not used to how things worked. Even the language was new to us, so we had to learn everything from scratch. But we had the right, we had the heart for it, and we used everything we can. We even took courses on corporate governance as a board to be able to do things properly. So we worked on the corporate governance of the NGO. We worked on our SOPs and policies. We're always improving them. So every time we meet a new donor, we learn. We're eager to learn and to change and to improve our policies. We applied them on all our grants. It's not like the audited grants, we do them in a way, and the non-audited grants, we do them differently. Transparency is really key for us. This is why you can see that on our website, all our annual reports are just posted there, and even our audit reports, the ones that PwC do them, they're all there. Everybody can see how many grants we received, how those grants were implemented, how the money was spent. Did you feel that your small community was supporting? Like, yes. You found that, you felt it as a female, like going into this NGO world in a country like Lebanon? The private sector supported a lot. Friends supported a lot. Before starting, me and my family, we're very well connected socially, and we're trusted in a way. So this trust and the fact that I decided to stop work for 1 year until December 2020, just to volunteer to do this without anything in return, it made people. It touched people, and they made them help.
Maybe your mom's also fingerprints, as you mentioned,
yes.
Since she was a social, she loved to work social
yes,
work.
True.
Maybe.
True.
What advice would you give to women in Lebanon today, whether they're business leaders, professionals, or aspiring entrepreneurs, who may feel hesitant to take risks or to pursue new opportunities? Just like, what would you tell them at a certain point?
Yes, I would tell them that in order to succeed, you need to, to succeed once, you need to lose like 10 times. So never despair. First, always choose the right people around you, because at times where you are about to stop everything, those are the people who would encourage you and be supportive, whether being in your team or in your social surroundings. For me, for example, I was telling my team yesterday that choosing the right team is so key, and it's not about what they know technically. It's about their character.
True.
So especially in an NGO world, it's different from any other business. So you need to have this empathy, you need to have this spirit of giving. And because they live so much under stress, if they didn't have it, if they didn't have this purpose in mind, they would be willing to stop at any time. So choosing the right people within your team is key. Choosing the right people and the right partners, as the local NGOs, international NGOs, UN agencies, other stakeholders, advisors in our case, board of trustees, board of directors. Having this secure network around you is key to anything.
Ghaidaa, can you tell us about some leadership skills that you felt that they are the most essential in your work at the private sector, at the NGO management, or at mainly targeting the stakeholders that you deal with? What do you feel that the most influential or important leadership skills that you should always work on developing?
I think that any leader, other than being inspirational and doing what he's preaching or what she is preaching, she needs to be at the forefront of everything. If in case any problem happens, not to blame it on others. Try to solve the problems with the team. And then the blaming, it can come later on, you can do the changes later on, but at the time of crisis or emergency, or you need to be there for your team to support them to get the job done. And then later on you can empower them, train them to become better. But this is very important, not to blame and to be on the forefront. If you're in a crisis and you're sending your people to the field, under emergency, you need to be there with them. If you're preparing reports at the end of the year and you have problems, you need to be there for them, not just send them to work Saturdays or Sundays and stay at home. You need to be there and support them and tell them that I'm there with you. We're one family. We're doing this together.
So leading by example.
Exactly.
That's nice. Ghaidaa, thank you for all the impact you're doing. Actually, we witnessed the success of what you've done. We didn't know you before in your private sector career yet, and just like social impact that you've done lately since the Beirut blast until today. We're all proud of you and looking forward to seeing the more successes that you would achieve throughout. Thank you for joining us on today's episode of Voices of Valor. We have heard incredible insights from Ms. Ghaidaa Itani Nawam, and we hope her story inspires you as much as it has inspired us. The women we feature on this podcast embody humanity, resilience, and leadership qualities that are shaping the future of business and beyond. As we continue to amplify their courageous voices, we hope you are reminded of the power of determination, fostering collaboration and positive impact. Stay tuned for more insightful conversations with the women who are making a difference. Until next time, keep embracing your own voice of valor.